Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 7 of Pentiment, and a special early hello to both Grumpy and Maxine. Maxine only just barely missed being the first commenter. She was beaten out by Grumpy. Maxine is saying, just when I wanted to go to sleep. Well, Maxine, hopefully the gentle, dulcet sounds of the pen scratching or quill scratching in Pentiment will help to lull you to sleep as we jump in for what will probably necessarily not be one of our longer streams. I'm getting started today later than average because there was a bunch of work stuff to do, but we're here and we're going to be jumping into Act 3. Now, as you might imagine from being in Act 3, I suspect almost the very first thing that you see or that happens would be a spoiler. So if you are interested to check Pentiment out, please know that we should have a full collection up that would take you all the way from episode 1 up to the present, so you could get a sense for what it's like without encountering any spoilers. But with that warning out of the way, let's go ahead and hit continue. And it's not letting me hit continue. Just 5 seconds. All right, now, hold on, sorry, I might have bumped there we go, okay. Yep, even though the sound was playing, sometimes Pentiment gets clicked out of itself, so now we will hit continue. And here we are, this person, who am I again? I know that I have a name, I just don't remember it from the very tail end of last episode. Oh, well, we can read the journal, that'll teach us something, I'm sure. Journal. Oates says that Dad was looking for me. I need to grab the mural plans from the workshop at the house and then head to the Rathos? Oh dear. I just got a lesson in how to say this at the end of the last episode. They should be sitting on his workbench near the printing press. Okay, we will go do that. And then who am I? I am Magdalene. There we go. Magdalene Druckerin from Tassing. I'm an empiricist, apparently. I didn't choose that, but I'm happy for it. Magdalene has a basic empirical mind. She is well read on the nature of plants and animals, as well as possessing a keen ability to think through and process information she receives along with its implications. Well, she sounds like my kind of person, because I try to do that too. Agnes gathers chamomile here every day to prepare her cures for the coming year. And see, I'm just relieved that I've encountered the word chamomile in my life, because otherwise I would be saying that word very incorrectly. Saint Satya's shrine. Martha especially likes to leave offerings for her. Let's learn about Martha. Martha is that woman, okay? So, we are in Tassing, obviously. Somewhat after the burning of the Abbey, like many years from what we're given to understand. Let's see what we know about the world. I can smell the anise. Okay, so this is not a word that I know. On the breeze. It reminds me of when I was little. Now, I don't know that Magdalene here has any business guest house going to the Abbey, as opposed to where we should be going. No, everything's overgrown. Okay. I kind of feel like if the abbot's house was generally unburned, I might want to move in there, but maybe that's taboo. Snow is creeping down the mountains. Winter will be here soon. Yeah, let's oh, is this place closed? Hold on, this place looks desolate. Hey, Killian. Hi! So he probably doesn't sound like that anymore. Good morning, Magdalene. So, yeah, big events at the end of the last episode. The whole abbey was burned down by Paul, and then the soldiers appeared to come in and, teach everyone a lesson. This is, yeah, Nico. I wasn't gonna remember his name. Magdalene. And our original character died, as far as we know. I will say that until we see the corpse, I leave open the possibility that Andreas, who seemed deeply miserable with his lot in life, might have changed his, taken an opportunity to get away. So, I'm sorry, I need to go back to my house, but it turns out I don't remember where that is. From the workshop at the house. Well, if my last name... What's my last name again? It's Druckerin. Okay, so let's find the Druckerin house. Or possibly just the Drucker house. Oh, I'm very close to home. Look at this. Yes, this is where I live. Well, I probably don't want to sleep. I'm supposed to get some plans or something. The Rathos mural sketches. I think this is what my dad wants. I think these are all of the plans. What is this part of the plans? Stop. Huh. What an odd color. We don't have ink like this here. At least I don't think we do. Well, whatever. I'll bring it just in case. Alright, I'd better get these over to the... It doesn't tell me how to pronounce this, does this? Community hall where people meet, typically a council that governs day-to-day affairs under the authority of a lord. Okay. So, Rathos. Let me look upstairs. I'm not sure where I sleep, but I might have a room here. No, I guess I probably sleep downstairs, since that's where I got the sleep prompt. So, now I should go to the Rathos. Hey again, Mags. He literally, at the end of the last episode, said he was going to stop calling me that. Are you serious? I just told you not to call me that. And what are you all doing out here? Don't you have better things to do? What business of that is that of yours? Not me. All my work's done, Mags. What do you care? It's not like you've got important work to do. Oh, what do I do? Okay, so we get to choose. Tinker. Magdalene maintains and tinkers with the press and types, sometimes works with Baltus. Magdalene can handle anything connected with household or animal work. Magdalene is proficient with balancing numbers and general accounting of data and information. Well, why don't we give her a skill set that I don't have, which is bookkeeping. Maybe our skill sets will balance each other out, if she's good at the bookkeeping. I keep my dad's business running and profitable. I handle all of our orders and make sure everything's delivered on time. That seems a little more important than standing around in the commons in the middle of the day. Must be nice to have money. You don't have to brag about it. Doesn't really sound like women's work anyway, if you ask me. Right. No one did. Calm down, Mags. You're gonna get a reputation. Wow. Okay. Too late. Too late to worry about that. She already has a reputation. Do I know craft? So what are my, reputation? Magdalene is skilled at stinging, countering, and otherwise deflating people in conversation. I already like it. Flirt. Likes to playfully tease and flirt with people. Haggle. Now hold on, this goes better with the bookkeeper, I'd say. Magdalene is a strong negotiator, whether it comes to finances or other matters of trade. Or snoop. Magdalene has a penchant for sneaking around, eavesdropping on conversations, and passing gossip. So... I think I like Barb's. I think it's going to be way more interesting, even though Haggle would go better with bookkeeping. They don't necessarily go one and the same, but I like the idea of being a strong negotiator. It goes well with being an empiricist. It goes well with being a bookkeeper. I really want this. I really want this. I also kind of feel like this is probably what everybody chooses. I'm going to go with Haggle. I feel like it goes better with, like, what very little I know about the characters so far, but I really want to note that I think that this would be fun. Let's go with Haggle. Very business-oriented. You said that before, it doesn't make any sense. I bargain like a man? What does that even mean? Well, what it sounds like. You're still mad at me because I convinced Gret to give me her last pretzel on Friday. Let it go. Easy for you to say when you got the pretzel. Yeah, that pretzel's long gone, sir. All right, we got it. Lay off. Did you get those things your dad wanted? Yes, that's why I was on my way to the Rathhouse. Hopefully, I can drop these off and start reading for the day. Start my reading for the day. Reading? What book is so important that you need to get back to it? So, I can speak any foreign languages other than Italian, but I can read a little of almost all of them. I already like that one. Magdalene is familiar with the most popular common books of the day, assorted trivia, almanacs, common knowledge, and scatological stories, or Reformation, has read a wide range of contemporary books on the Reformation and Counter-Reformation. I like this! Like, again, if Magdalene's a businesswoman, you know, maybe she's not allowed to own property. I don't know this era in history. But if she's good with numbers, good with books, good with business, it would make sense that she would dedicate herself to speaking as many different languages as she could within the Holy Roman Empire. So can't speak any foreign languages other than Italian, but she can read a little of almost all of them. That's different than what I thought. Can't speak, but I can read some. Read some doesn't sound very useful. It's amazing how much I just swapped around on that. Okay, so if that is, I don't speak any foreign language, but I can read a little of some of them. Like, I mean, it's not useless, but it's not as good. Hello to Fox. And Maxine, thank you so much for the lurk. I hope you have a great evening. I think then that one thing that would help in negotiations and business dealings would be knowing what's what. Assorted trivia, almanacs, common knowledge, scatological stories. It helps you get along with people. Hello to Jody K. You know, get in good, be a good conversationalist. Let's go with this. Melusine. Esther sent it to me from Prague. And there's Esther, I guess. Is that about the snake woman who takes off all her clothes? Sort of, but no, not really. Or at all. Ooh, does it have any pictures? Right, I want to see. Calm down, I'm not showing you lecherous dogs anything. Don't you read all sorts of books about birds and trees and whatever? Yes, trees and birds and whatever, that's right. People are finally writing down what they see in nature instead of copying something a Greek imagined centuries ago. Do you have any books on frogs? What? Never mind. Wait. Orts, aren't you supposed to be at the Rathhouse too? You're on the council. Sure, but it's pointless without your dad's plans. Let's go. Ugh, fine. Jody, I hope you've had a nice Tuesday so far. I don't understand how we're still arguing about this. These murals should depict the truth, and what we know is the truth. I don't think it's too simple, Klaus. Are you afraid of angering our Lord, Father Thomas? Or, sorry, are you afraid of angering our Lord, Father Thomas? I think Father Thomas means the truth is not so easily agreed upon. Wow, look at Jorg. Oh, he's not looking so hot. Looks like he lost an eye. I don't know, I'm tired of arguing. I just want it to look nice and show what happened. Magdalene, thank you for bringing these. Maybe illustrations will succeed where talking has failed. I'm done arguing with them. I'll see you at home for supper. Oh no, Foxcloud is saying that Scalies apparently existed a long time ago too. Is that a thing? I'm not even sure I want to know. It's alright, Magdalene. We don't need to see the drawings. It's not that we don't understand what he's trying to do. I didn't realize we had upset him so much. Sounds like things got worse after I left. We've been arguing about this for almost 2 O's. For all the good it did us, he hasn't budged. What's the point of talking if you can't make any progress? Magdalene, could you speak to your father and help him see things from our point of view? I don't even know what you're arguing about, so in the end I ran to get the plans that you don't want to see, and now you want me to go do something else for you. I don't know that I ran to get the plans. I sort of took my time and went around, so I don't even know what you're arguing about. What is your point of view? Class is strong. There are very strong opinions on how the history of Tassing, of Kirsau Abbey, should be portrayed. And those portrayals may upset some of our neighbors. Isn't the real concern that it's going to upset the Lord? Isn't everyone really worried about him coming here someday and seeing the revolt memorialized on the wall? You keep saying that we all disagree with him. I don't think I do. Not entirely. Well, what do you think, Jorg? I know I'm not the smartest man in this room, but I know what happened to my own dad. I know what he did. It doesn't feel right to ignore what happened to him, what happened to Otto. Look, you all ken my dad, but I never had the chance. I don't want to make the people in this town angry. I don't want to make our Lord angry. None of us do, but maybe there's a way to tell this story in a way that's true without upsetting anybody. So, it's all very complicated, you see, Magdalene? Try to get him to consider a portrayal of our history that's a little less, inflammatory. My father was deeply affected by the revolt. It won't be easy to convince him of anything. So you want me to convince him to do what you say? I'm sure that will work. It's as complicated as you all think. But I think that it is. Like, I'll tell you where I fall right now. What happened? Not what we think happened, not what we wish happened, not like a romanticized version of what happened. What happened? That's what the mural should show. However, I don't know how many people in this room were there for it. I saw the whole thing go down, but I'm not alive anymore, so I'm gonna go with my father was deeply affected by the revolt. It won't be easy to convince him of anything. The revolt was a major event for everyone in Tassing. I know how hard it was for him. We need to come to an agreement, or call off the mural entirely. He's been waiting to paint the mural for years. You can't tell him no all of a sudden. Then help us, Magdalene. Your father will listen to you. Only so that he can paint it, not on account of you bickering like children. I won't promise anything, though. He's already hard enough to convince. See, the thing is, although they're bickering, I don't really feel like it's about, like, children. Like, I feel like there's a reasonable disagreement happening here over how to portray the things that won't necessarily get the town burned down again. For some of these people, and some of the me people, the people that are me, that's a fairly recent memory, so yeah, we're gonna say this. Now I'm going back home. This medicine has already taken up too much of my day already. Oh, we have a whole different clock system happening now. I guess we don't know the hours of prayer as much. Unless it's wait, is it January now? Maybe that's the inner hand. Magdalene, thank you for bringing the drawings to the Wrath House. I'm sorry it was a waste of time. Those men don't know what they want. When I tell them what I'm trying to do, they get scared. Then they talk and talk and talk. They talk all day, and we're never any closer to a decision. I'm sick of it. Sick of the whole thing. This is how I feel. No. Can you just start working on it? If they don't like it, they'll have to figure it out, for themselves. I could, but the first payment requires the council's approval. Damn it. I don't even care about the money. Maybe you're right. To hell with them. I didn't realize you were so upset about it. We hear all these stories about what this place was, how it came to be. It feels like history is something that happened before, happened to other people. But 18 years ago, we lived through something, you and I, everyone in Tassing. Everyone wants to forget about it, pretend it didn't happen. You don't. No, I don't. All those years ago, I did nothing. I was worried for you, worried for Benjamin and Rachel and Esther. Benjamin is... Oh, I know Benjamin. And then Rachel... So Rachel was the one who, like, gave birth that day. So, is Esther the baby? I don't remember if the baby got named. I was so afraid I'd lose you. I wouldn't have been able to bear it. In the end, so many people died anyway. Peter and Ulrich and Andreas and all the others. Did we get updated? No, that's them. Okay. And we lived. Dad, everyone says that it wouldn't have made any difference. If you and the others had fought, you would have died. I would have died. Maybe I could have stopped him from going to the mill. Or maybe we could have stopped the peasants from burning it down. But we'll never know. Is that what this is about, this mural? It's a chance to put something down in a place where everyone can see. People start to forget, this will remind them. We were here. This happened. And if we don't do it, who will? You're right. I wish the men in that wrath house saw me in the way you do. One way or another, you'll figure it out. I hope so. All the arguing has left me beat. I'm gonna go to bed early. Alright, I'm gonna stay up for a bit and write a letter to Esther. It'll begin, Dear Esther. Good. Please say hello to her from me. And her parents. I know, Dad. Good night, Magdalene. I love you. I love you too. All this running around has left me tired too. It'll be nice to sit down at my desk and just write for a while. I think I live on the first floor here. Yep, here's my desk. Alright, where to begin? I should write to Esther. Dearest Esther. Yeah, let's go with this. I hope you and your family are well. I mean, I like this, but I specifically said that I was going to say from my dad that everything was cool. I spent the last few days collecting oak galls with Sister Gertrude. I don't suppose you have the chance to do that in Prague. Sister Gertrude has been teaching me how to grind them into a smooth ink. It's difficult work, but you'll find no better ink anywhere in Bavaria. I'll send along a bottle with this letter. Oh, did I mention? Dad started a new project. He's painting a mural of Tassing's history in the new Rathaus to memorialize the revolt. The whole thing has me thinking about my own family history, past, present, and future. So I'm sort of business-oriented. I kind of want to do this. I feel like this is what I know how to do. And I don't know that a young woman is going to get a better business opportunity outside of here. So the printing shop has been in the family for years. I'm looking forward to taking it over. Of course, Dad will keep running it until he can't pull the levers anymore, but I'll take over sooner or later. Yeah, let's go. Well, like, I don't know how she feels about getting married, but I feel like society at this point would really give her a very rough time if she didn't get married. I mean, if you remember, who was it? Brigida? Brigida was kind of openly having a romantic relationship with Veronica, I think. Like, I feel like that was very heavily implied. But even she got married to Martin, and, you know, I don't know, but I feel like going the direction of not getting married at all would be a decision with a lot of social costs that I can't properly weigh because I'm not a woman and I'm not there. So, I mean, I'm just saying that I don't know. So I'm going to go with the print shop will be more profitable than anything else my husband does, because it's true. She's going to be really good at running it. Especially if I have to marry Oates. Did I just call him Oars earlier? Oates. I don't want to marry that guy. He sucks. Christ, you would not believe how annoying he is. I think his mom is under the impression he's been courting me. Can you imagine? And yes, before you break the nib off your pen, if I will come visit you in Prague, I promise. I don't know what the nib off the pen is. Like the tip? I'll try to make some time before winter. Life has been bustling here. Dad's been busy with the Rothaus Memorial, so I've taken over the workshop. I'm sure it'll be a sight to behold once it's finished. Right back to me soon. All my love, Magda. So I guess it's October? Okay, so I did write to her. Am I supposed to go to bed now? Jody K is saying yes, the nib is the writing tip. Hopefully Esther writes back soon. It's getting late. I should get some rest. Okay, I figured that was probably it. It's getting late. I should get some rest soon. Let's go to sleep. Dad? Dad?
Magdalene!
Dad! Hang on, I'm coming. Dad!
Magdalene.
What happened? Are you alright? You're bleeding.
Someone came into the house. They hit me over the head.
I'll go get Dr. Stoltz. Try not to move, Dad.
Magdalene, it's not safe. Whoever attacked me...
So I feel like emphasizing the severity of the wound is not going to be helpful, as opposed to, I won't be long, I swear, just please hold on. Like, I need him to keep his eyes open and fight for a short amount of time.
Magdalene, be careful.
I will. I'll be right back, I promise. Okay, I'm getting the scope of this clock. Now it's the 23rd of October.
Do you know why anyone would want to attack you, Klaus? No, maybe someone didn't like one of the books I sold them.
Are you sure you didn't see a shadow and hit your head on the printing press? Come on, you saw the workshop. Somebody was looking for something.
A burglar in Tassing? That's preposterous. Well, if it wasn't an attack, what was it? Enough.
Oh no, this is Werner. Enough! It was a deliberate blow to the head, unless any of you wish to debate my diagnosis.
No.
Of course not.
No.
As I thought. Truthfully, Klaus, I'm surprised the blow didn't kill you. You have a strong skull. It's a grave injury, Magdalene. You'll need to be able to help take care of your father. I will, whatever I need to do. Good. Of course, the mural will have to be called off now. Klaus, you absolutely cannot get out of bed.
No, it has to be done. This is too important. Just give me some time to rest. I'll find a way to make it work.
I don't think we need to cancel the entire project. Can't we just wait?
Klaus, your health comic first. Anyway, we haven't been able to agree on what the mural should be.
Indeed. I think it might be best to abandon the entire idea. With respect, Father Thomas, you are not on the council.
Yes, just offering an opinion.
I can paint the mural. What? Mags, quit joking around. Well, I know you worked to help your dad, but you aren't too young for something like this big. I like our debate thing. Let's skip this debate. We all know I'm capable of doing this myself. Dad knows I'm capable. Boom. Straight to it.
If you don't trust Magdalene to do the mural, to hell with the lot of you. Klaus! If you don't trust her, you don't trust me. I'll never do any work for this council again.
All right, I say we let her.
It doesn't look like we have much of a choice.
Look at the size of... Who's that, Paul? Look at the size of Paul's hands. Like, his hands are the same size as Big Yorg's. Very well. All right, Magdalene, you can do it. But you still need to talk to us about what you're doing, all right? Fine, but I'm taking Dad's ideas into account. Well, we'll figure it out. Thanks, Magdalene. Rest up, Klaus. I'll do my best, Jorg. Is he the only Jorg? We don't call him Big Jorg anymore? He's just default Jorg? Magdalene, just a moment. Yes, what is it? Your father's lucid right now, but his injury is severe. His current demeanor is misleading. What are you saying? Magdalene, there's damage to his brain. He may have a few weeks, maybe even a few months left, but he's not going to survive. Oh my god, a surgeon, a brain surgeon. Whew. Okay, so this is getting real. She's a negotiator. She's a bargainer. Like, those are the things. So, like, I feel like this is her instinct. No, I'm not a surgeon. Can we take him to see one? No, he can't be moved in this condition. In fact, he shouldn't move at all. Even if he could, I don't think the finest Italian surgeons would know how to deal with trauma like this. I don't want to say that. You can make him comfortable and you can enjoy the time you have left. But time will run out before long. Dad needs to be able to see the mural in its finished form. But I don't know how much time he has left. Werner said it could be a few months, or... God protect him. I'll pick up where Dad left off. He wanted to paint the history of Tassing from its earliest days to the revolt. I'll start with the earliest part of Tassing's history, the pagan tribes and the Romans. Then I'll move into the founding of the Abbey and Tassing's saints. After that, I should find a way to represent our recent history, depicting the revolt is important to Dad. People in Tassing might know some of the town's history, but not all of it. Dad said the library in Kirsau had those records. He was going to write to the last prioress to see if she had any information. I should write to her now, while I'm thinking about it. Where to begin? Dad told me the last prioress at Kirsau knew something about the old history of Tassing. He said she became the abbess of a convent in Bologna. Mother Illuminata? Yes, it's Saint Margherita. I should write to her. Or Santa Margherita, a small town in the Republic of Genoa. Genoa? Along the coast of the Ligurian Sea. There's so many of these words, you guys, that I'm mispronouncing, and I'm so sorry. So, hold on. Abbess? Oh, shoot. Santa Margherita. Well, I want to go with this, because this is why we're writing to her, that she was formerly the librarian and the prioress. But let's go with prioress. That was her last highest attained rank. My name is Magdalene Druckerin. I do not believe we ever met, as I was very young when you left Kirsau. Yeah. You were acquainted with my father. He bought many books in the library before that terrible fire consumed the place. I'm writing because my father and I are creating a mural in the Tassing Rathaus. It's going to tell the story of our community and of Kirsau as well. We only have legends and folklore, since of course all of Kirsau's books were destroyed in the fire. I was hoping you could tell us something about the early history of the town when the Romans were here. If you know anything about the early history of the Abbey itself, we would also be glad to hear of it. We would appreciate any help you could give us, and hope you are well. I feel like, I don't know the culture of the time, but I feel like writing to somebody who is, at this point, probably advanced in age and very high in, has achieved the highest rank that she could as a nun or a mother or whatever the right term is. I feel like this is a little bit too personal, a little bit too familiar. If you would not mind, a personal question. Was it hard to return to Italy after being here for so many years? I don't know why that's as helpful. I'm going to go with how she cared for the sisters after the fire, because that must have been extremely traumatic, and I can't actually say that the books can be replaced, because I'm not sure that any of them, that some of them could be, but what is more valuable? People or property? And I'm going to have to go with people. God bless you. Magdalene. If I want to finish the mural before Christmas, I should start planning tomorrow. I should head to bed and get as much rest as I can. Okay. End of day. It's late, and I should get some rest soon. I'm basically trusting on Magdalene to, like, guide me through the specifics of her life. Once again, it is too hot for covers. Magdalene, wake up! You're missing all of your planning time!
Oh, Miss Druckerin, I have a few letters here addressed to you. Here's one of them. Take care now.
Thank you, sir. Mother Illuminata wrote back to me. I hope her response helps me paint the mural. Mistress Druckerin, thank you for your letter. I hope this reply finds you and your father in good health. I remember you both as your father would carry you between the rows of our library in its final years. I also remember your late mother and brother, God keep their souls. While we did have some books that discuss Tassing's past, it is likely they were as mythological as what your neighbors believe. That said, I remember one of the peasants, Tillman Kreutzer, read about the history of the town. I know he died during the revolt, but perhaps his family knows some of what he learned. I should also say that it's not true that all of Kirsau's books were destroyed in the fire. Andreas Mahler managed to save some from the flames. God rest his soul. In the aftermath of that terrible night, cataloging and preserving the surviving books was not at the top of any of our minds. Even so, this topic has stirred a memory within me. Several years before the fire, there was a death at Kirsau, the murder of Baron Rothvogel. He had mentioned something about finding a copy of Historia Tassiae, a comprehensive chronicle of your home. I had forgotten about it until now, because the murder dominated all of our thoughts in the days and weeks that followed. It troubles me now, because I recall that the late Father Matthias was also reading a copy of Historia Tassiae shortly before he died. We never accounted for either book's whereabouts. They may have been hidden somewhere in the library and went up with everything else. Perhaps Prior Ferenc took it from the Baron after the murder. Ferenc had an interest in books of all sorts, of course, but it seems like an odd thing to do in the moment. Then again, only God knows what he did and why he did it. Miklaus Haberl? Miklaus? Martin Bauer, I know. Miklaus is less familiar to me. The Baron's manservant believed it may have been stolen by the town thief, Martin Bauer. Oh, is that what he stole? Wow, he looks different than the last time I saw him. If Martin is still alive, I would ask him if he knows where the book is. Hopefully he didn't trade it for a mug of beer on his way out of Tassing. If the man has passed from this world, perhaps his family knows where the book wound up. As for the history of the Abbey, I fear that was also lost in the blaze. However, as sacristan, appointed official in a monastery responsible for maintaining the sacristy where vestments and objects used in ceremonies are kept. The sacristan is often also the treasurer. Yeah, that's what Brother Guy was doing. Prior Matthew learned a great deal about the subject. I've not kept in contact with him, but I know he is now the Archdeacon of Sion, a once free imperial city, the capital of Valais when the canton joined the Swiss Confederacy following the Swabian War in 1499. Of course. He is no longer a Benedictine, but he uses his family name. Fausigny Sau? Socks? I assume the X is silent. I don't know, man. If you write to him soon, your letter may reach him before snow covers Valais. Valais, probably. Please convey my best wishes to your father. He was a good friend to the Abbey in its better years. Despite the violence that occurred, I hold no ill will towards anyone from Tassing. I pray that you have seen better days since that night, and that God forgives the many errors we made. God bless you as weal. I have to say, of all the people that made errors, I don't think that Mother Illuminata was among them. She seemed to keep a steady hand on the wheel. Mother Illuminata, Abbess of Santa Margarita. Oh, Esther wrote to me as well. My dear Magda, my parents were glad to hear from your father. Please tell him they wish to hear from him soon. Speaking of printing, your ink was well received indeed. I've made several prints with it. They look lovely on the wall, but none of them are in the frame right now, so you won't see what they look like. Elisha has taken to making his own ink from scraps he found around the house after he saw yours. Mother was furious when he spent several pfennigs trying to find lapis at the market. She sent him scrubbing the floors for it. Took him 3 days. I'm glad you're keeping busy, even though it keeps you from visiting. Father says we'll have room whenever you decide to make an appearance. And if you do take over the shop in Tassing, you'll have to make visits to Prague for supplies. Who knows? Maybe you'll even meet someone here. I've made a good match too. Before the expulsion, there was a handsome man at synagogue. Simon caught me eye. His father is a merchant, and he's a doctor. He went to the University of Padua. Can you believe it? I'd quite like to marry him, if I can find him again. Anyway, I think you'd have even better luck than me. The boys would swoon at the beautiful blonde artist from the Alps. Please keep us abreast of your father's mural. We'll have to come see it when it's finished. Blessings, Esther. I'm not gonna remember her voice or anybody else's. I'll have to write Esther back tonight. I should head home and check on Dad. Hey, Dad. How are you feeling?
Magdalene. Sitting upright is still a struggle, I'm afraid. The dizziness makes my stomach turn, so I'd rather not eat at the moment.
Are you sure? I can bring up something light, like milk or broth?
No, I can't stomach anything just yet. But tell me, where are you off to?
I need to get started on the first part of the mural today, the old history. Mother Illuminata didn't know much about Tassing's early history, but she did give me a few places to start. I'm going to ask Black Till if his grandfather told him any stories. Illuminata said he used to read about the Romans. Is this a different Till than the previous Till? I also don't remember who previous Till was.
Mother Illuminata, Magdalene.
Oh, did I not say mother? Yes. Let's not be... Whether or not Magdalene cares, and clearly she doesn't because she didn't use the title, like, this is important to Klaus, so...
Young Kreutzer has mentioned those tales from time to time, yes. He comes by to borrow books now and then. Usually when he's found some interesting old ruin out in the fields. You might ask him about that. Il Peter is always harumphed about how no one pays attention to the old ways anymore, too.
Wait, is Il Peter, like, still kicking? Because that dude isn't that ill, then. 18 years later.
I'm sure he'll have some stories to tell about old Tassing. You might stop to talk to him.
I didn't think of that. Thanks, Dad.
Of course, Magda. It's nice to feel useful, even if I am stuck here in bed.
Nonsense. I'm just glad you're awake.
You might talk to Smokey, too. The old charcoal burner seems to know more about what's in the woods around town than anyone else. That, and he's a known gossip.
He's always been kind to me when I chat with him. I'm certain he'll know something about the ruins.
You may hear something worth your while at any rate.
I'll go talk to him. What about the ruins or the mines? I can't just use books and stories alone. I want to explore whatever is left over from the Romans and before. The salt mine and Roman ruins are the oldest parts of Tassing, so it only makes sense to see what they left behind.
Ah, you take after your mother. She was always thorough in her research.
You always said that's what good artists do, Dad.
Be careful, all right? I know the twins mess around near the salt mine, but I don't want you getting hurt. I don't know why Jorg doesn't keep them in line. Always making trouble, those two.
They don't have the brains to keep out of trouble, I do.
I should hope so. You're the one running the shop for now, after all. Don't forget your other chores while you're running around town, all right? We still have a household to run.
I'll get everything done.
That's my girl.
I'd better get going if I want to do all of that today. I'll see you later, Dad.
Good luck, Magdalene.
The thing is, like, when somebody is as sick as he is, I just don't want to get, like, there's more important things than fighting.
Magdalene.
Hey, Dad, how are you feeling? Can I get you anything?
No, I'm fine. You go on.
All right, I'll come back later and check on you. I hope there's not, like, a secret check on Dad counter, because I'm not going to remember to do that. Probably as nearly as often as I should, or as I would in real life. Okay, so we picked up a ton of leads. I do like going to the old salt mine. Okay, Il Peter's been around forever. He might remember some of the old stories. But the thing is, like, who knows if he remembers them accurately? It's a big game of telephone, right? If I want to be accurate. Blacktail's grandfather read a lot about Tassing's history. Maybe he's made it a family tradition. Smokey Kohler spends all his time in the forest. I think he might know something interesting about the ruins or the mines. Let's go talk to Smokey, because, like, we made a point of saying, like, oh, you know, I get along really well with Smokey. He's always kind to me when we talk. This is, Nico, yeah?
Oh, hello there, Magdalene.
Nico, what are you doing out here?
Biding my time, contemplating life.
In the forest at this cold time of year?
I like the calm and the chill. It makes me feel lively. I'm not looking forward to returning to the inn either.
I doubt you're avoiding the inn itself or Killian, so I'll have to assume it's Hannah.
Just so. Lately, Hannah and I fight more days than not. So I walk in the woods to clear my head.
That can't be good for business.
You're right about that. I doubt all the shouting makes the inn feel hospitable. It's a tale as old as matrimony.
I don't see the point in marrying for love. It should be a partnership like a business. I do kind of like that outlook. It's not one that I share, but it's one that, like, seems appropriate for her. I'm gonna say that. I don't see the point in marrying for love. It should be a partnership like a business.
Maybe that's for the best. Hard to be disappointed if you have no expectations. We were in love once, I think. It's been so long I hardly remember. Well, I was in love. I would have suffered any slight for her, even that fucking Miller. At least Lenhart died in the revolt, but that didn't stop
Hannah from disgracing our marriage. Really? She still stepped out after that?
I swallowed my pride and let it go on because I thought it would make her happy. But I shouldn't talk faux you about this. You've caught me in a weak moment, Magdalene.
It's not appropriate, but I'm listening anyway.
Kind of you. Perhaps if I were a better man, Hannah would still love me.
I'm not sure that this is on you. Like, Hannah's gonna step out, like, you know, and it's tempting to say, oh, if you had, like, done things differently, then maybe she wouldn't have. But if Hannah's not happy in the marriage, sometimes she's just not happy in the marriage. It's not necessarily you. I don't know. I don't know enough about this situation. There's probably blame to go around, but I wouldn't say that it's just like if you were a better man, maybe if you were a different man. I don't know.
We're too old to change now. She's too stubborn, I'm too weak. It's pointless.
I like that things can be different if you have the courage to change them. Manage to arrange a kind man in Killian, despite all that. If this is what marriage does to you, I'm not interested. So, I like that Magdalene is courageous. Like, we're about to go down in the mines. I feel like that was one of her first instincts.
That kind of thinking is what got Otto killed. And Peter. Ulrich, too. Were I as courageous like them, I'd probably be dead.
I mean, doing nothing isn't working out for him, so stop feeling so sorry for yourself. Do something.
You think I haven't talked to her? Haven't tried to change myself to be the kind of man she'd respect? I have. All that folk wisdom in your funny books might have convinced H-Tat that a conversation can solve everything, but real life isn't that simple. God does not come down from heaven and tell you exactly how to fix your life. No, our moment has already passed me by. You'll understand when you're older, Magdalene, when you've had time to make mistakes. You'll see. Sorry I burdened you with this. Please, don't tell your father.
Why would I tell my father? This is not of interest to him, and it's not useful information. I won't.
Sometimes we have to keep Thurgs from our family. But it's bad for the soul, isn't it? Lying.
I'm not going to tell him to go home. He can sit on that stump all night for all the difference it makes to me, if he's not happy.
Until then.
Well, hold on. What's some of the rest of this stuff? I can't believe how quickly the leaves changed this year. Apollo.
Hey, Magdalene.
Hello, Apollo. What are you doing?
Looking for frogs?
Artemis says she caught one the other day, and we're trying to collect a bunch. Okay, so there's Artemis. Frogs don't come out this time of year.
How do you know? Artemis said she saw one.
I read it in a tale. Frogs come out with the rain. We get rain in spring.
Huh, maybe that's why I only have one.
What do you need the frogs for?
Look, I'll tell you, you'll snitch.
If you don't tell me, maybe I will snitch. Your mother won't be happy to hear about whatever you're up to.
Artemis always says Mom doesn't care. Mom yells, but that's about it. Sorry, Magdalene, I can't risk this one. Try asking Artemis.
All right, I will. Just have to make her acquaintance. Chamomile. Yep, we already read that. Hey, Magdalene. Hey, Artemis. Apollo says you're catching frogs. Yeah, what about it? He told me to come ask you why. He wouldn't say anything. He didn't tell you. Christ, finally. He's learning to keep his mouth shut. But you'll tell me, right? Fine. Juff promised me you won't tell. Yeah, of course. Oh, all right. We want to put them in the altar, so at Mass, Father Thomas reaches for the Eucharist, and frogs go everywhere. I can't wait to see Father Thomas's face if you can get away with it. He'll never expect to summon frogs in his sermon on the Egyptian plagues. Good luck. Thanks, Magdalene. Until later. Yeah, I'm not going to tell her to be careful or whatever. Like, she looks like an adult to me, so she knows what's up. A pig out here. It must have broken out of its pen. I wonder who it belongs to. Also, there we go. The waterfall is always so beautiful. More beautiful than the mugwort, which is always used for colds and fevers. It may not be as powerful as when we gather it on St. John's Eve, but it should still work. Hold on, I want to go talk to Old Smoky before we go to the mine. Hello to Hickey. Hickey, I hope you had a nice Tuesday. Mine was extremely busy, and as a result, the stream started rather later than normally expected. So here's Voxlav.
Hello. Is there something I can do for you? Knives need sharpening?
I'm Magdalene Druckerin. Are you a friend of Smokey's?
I'd like to think so. I'm Vaxlav. I'm a tinker. Travel around and help people out with sharpening knives, little things like that. Druckerin, are you a printer's daughter?
Is that, wow, is that like the German word for printing or something? I'm the printer. My father and I are both printers.
Do you sample the wares much?
Yes, I read books.
Vaxlav, don't. You're going to get in trouble again.
What's he talking about?
Nothing. Ignore him. Nothing. This one can't help but talk to people about all the strange things he believes. He reads all sorts of books, talks to odd folks, gets ideas brewing in his head. Now that doesn't bother old Smokey none. Bothers some other people a whole lot.
Doesn't bother me. Yeah, no, I like this. Sounds like their problem, not his.
Exactly.
Sounds like there's nothing to worry about.
Fine, you get run out of here again, don't blame me.
Again? Do I want to know what happened?
A long time ago, I got into an argument with some people in Tower. They told Father Thomas. To his credit, he told them to let it go, but somehow Inquisitor found out. Anyway, I had to leave for a while.
So, books. Strange ideas?
Yes, the host, the Eucharist, the bread and wine, body and blood of Christ.
Holy Communion? What about it?
More and more people are writing about rejecting transubstantiation. It's the idea that's sweeping the nation. The idea that the bread and wine of the Eucharist literally becomes the body and the blood of Christ. Here we go.
Yes?
Well, there are two ways to look at it. The first...
What the fuck? Can you just hand me one of your poorly Xerox copies of your manifesto? I've got shit to do.
The first is on the grounds that Wycliffe and Huss rejected it. Using our eyes, our senses, there's nothing perceptible that changes in the character of the bread and the wine.
Dude, I don't know. Or care. See, so the thing is, she's an empiricist, so I don't think that she would ever make the argument that what you can see, hear, taste, and smell should come secondary to what you believe. Like, that's the opposite of empiricism, so I suppose that's true.
Good, but there's also a second point.
A second point.
Even if the bread and wine turn to Christ's body and blood, why is that necessary for spiritual communion? We are bound by flesh, attempting to reunite with the light of God above through the Eucharist.
Okay, Eucharist is that. I just don't want it to be underlined anymore.
The act, the observance, unites our will with that of Christ. God is present in us through the remembrance, not the physical act.
It is the why does this matter? Like, that's my take on it. This guy, from my perspective, and maybe in the era that this is like mind-blowing stuff, like watching, oh god, what was that Kevin Smith movie that everybody except me thought was like really clever and daring, and I was like, yeah, the one where Alanis Morissette played God. What the hell movie was that? Like, that's it's like, to me, it's like, okay, like, he's arguing a lot of, like, religious doctrine that, again, might, and I don't know if this is established, dogma, thank you to Hickey. Dogma was fine. It was fine. It probably put into popular culture a lot of ideas that I'd already seen and heard expressed elsewhere. So to me, it didn't seem like super daring. It was just like, oh, okay, you know, that was kind of clever, kind of interesting. I didn't hate it. I wasn't bored by it, but I just didn't get as much out of it as some others. And that's fine if other people got out of it. But that's what this guy reminds me of. Like, it's like, you know, yo, let me just lay down some truth for you. Have you ever stopped to think about why we do the things we do? It's like, well, probably, but I'm trying to, like, paint a mural and stuff, so I'm not super into what you're talking about. So what does that matter? Are you saying that we shouldn't take communion? Like, what's your point, sir?
No, there's nothing wrong with taking communion as a rite or act. But if you accept what I'm saying,
there are others that I'd like to discuss.
I'm not listening to any of this.
Are you ready to hear why it's important to disbelieve in transubstantiation? I've been ready my whole life. I was born ready, sir. Yeah, I'm certain this is leading somewhere good. I can't wait.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic, but all right. This all starts with Lucifer creating the world.
Please proceed, Governor.
God was the Word, and the Word was truth, and truth is light. The light is God's will. God's light contained aspects, what we consider angels, facets of his infinite intellect. One of these aspects separated itself from God's intellect and manifested in the darkness as the corrupt will, Lucifer.
By what power could a portion of God's will separate from the whole?
The will moved itself. God's intellect, being infinite, also contained the capacity to transcend the infinite. To exist outside the boundaries of infinite light, the corrupt will brought into being an equally infinite darkness. Within that darkness, Lucifer cast his false light, a corrupted imitation of the divine intellect, to create the world. All material in our world is inherently a corrupted manifestator of that false light. We still have a connection to God through our intellect, but is flawed by existing in our physical body.
Was Jesus flawed by being a man even though he was born of a virgin? But you still believe we can be redeemed through Christ, right? Well, I don't know or care if he believes that. Was Jesus flawed by being a man even though he was born of a virgin?
He was not born of being a virgin. I'm not hearing any of this. And it would not matter if he were. Lucifer was a rebellious splinter of God's will. The Christ appeared when God willed his divine intellect into Jesus.
But you said that physical bodies were all corrupt.
Yes, but while we are the heirs of Lucifer's rebellious intellect, Christ received wisdom from the light of God himself. He did truly die and truly resurrected in body. But he reappeared, his reappearance was only important to him and conveyed the message of salvation to the people. I've been offered several opportunities to end this conversation, but I did want to see where it's going. This dude really loves the sound of his own voice.
In truth, resurrection was always happening, since if we die without grace, our souls just are condemned to be reborn. This physical world is the only hell we know. Living again and again is the only torment. I think that's a sad way to look at life. Maybe, but it's how I see it. In 5 years, I may see it another way. It depends on how boring I can be with a different idea. Anyway, thank you for indulging me, Magdalene. Of course. Until later. Until then. I honestly thought the clock was gonna go do a full turn. I swear to God. Hello to eternity. Hey man, can't stick around, have a good stream. Understood, thank you very much for the raid. I hope you have a great evening. It's nice to see some green this time of year. Horehound is one of the few plants that grows year-round here. So, Smokey's who I actually came to talk to.
Good day, Mistress Druckerin.
I told you, Smokey, just call me Magdalene.
Old habits, I suppose. What brings you to my corner of the woods? More gossip?
Only ancient gossip. I was wondering if you knew anything about the old pagan and Roman mines.
The mines? Is this a new interest of yours, Magdalene? I don't see the townsfolk trek out there as much anymore. Last I saw, there were those two twins making trouble. They know a way in, but I'll be damned if I ever set foot close to that place. What are you so interested in over there?
The mural in the Rathaus needs a section about the earliest days of Tassing. The mines are the oldest part of Tassing, and you keep a keen ear. I thought you might have heard something.
I don't know about getting down into the minus, but I do know a fair few stories about them. The Oter Roman ruins around here. The old stories, Godfather? My father used to tell me when he was the burner of Tassing. The one about Mars and Tassia, the nymph, was always my favorite, though I blame that on my youth.
Tassia, like Tassing?
Mm-hmm. Folks named the town after a pagan god, a Roman one at that. I don't mind telling you the tale, Magdalene, but I warn you, it's a bit, bawdy.
Wait, don't I think the history that I picked likes bawdy stories. Count me curious.
Ha! I won't be scandalizing you. Can't have your father hounding me for any coarseness. But I'll tell the decent bits of what I remember.
What's the story?
Well, legend says that Mars was hunting in these woods and spied a fat boar for the taking. He just pulled back his spear when he heard a woman scream in terror. Of course, the creature ran off, and the god was angry at the loss of his quarry. So he tramped through the woods to see why a woman was in the forest and not in the local town.
But I go into the forest all the time.
Yes, but those were the old woods, Magdalene. The wilds where the spirits and the ghosts prowl.
But he likes the folk tales. What do you mean, prowled? See, like, I don't think that she believes this story, but, like, she wants the folklore to it. I think that, like, yelling at him, like, I want more facts, that's not what he's here for. Prowled.
Prowled? You know, like spirits and other evil things do. I can't say they walk through the woods like you or me. They prowl.
All right, keep going.
So Mars found a nymph, Tassia, bathing in a spring with a fat, ugly satyr goading her from the shore. Enraged at seeing the trapped nymph, Mars transformed into a wolf and slew the satyr. And in return, well, Tassia bathed the god.
I get it. They bathed.
I did warn you, Magdalene. When Mars left the pool, he dripped on to the ground and it blossomed with flowers and crops. They say that's why this valley is so fertile.
We've been growing crops here for generations. People would want a reason for that, even if it was the gods.
Whatever the reason, I'm leaving here for no reason. Tassing's been blessed with fertile ground for hundreds of years. So much of what the Romans left behind was destroyed over the years, but I like that we still have these tales. You can never really destroy stories as long as there are people to tell them. Of course, the Romans left a hell of a lot behind, too. This town is more Roman than Bavarian, actually. Really.
Because of how long it was a Roman colony?
That, and how much of the town is built upon the Roman foundations. Tassing is actually a much smaller now than it was in the Romans' days. At least, that's what I make of it. The ruins go deep into the forest and all the way to the old mine. Half of Tassing is built on Roman stone. Take a walk around town, you'll start noticing things. We use their stone to build. The old temple by Satia's shrine has grown over, but the aqueduct runs for miles. Even the abbey used to be an old Roman fort. You can see some of the Roman paved stones under the road if you look hard. We may not be Roman, but this town is.
I do like that Tassing's been building upon itself for hundreds of years. What a beautiful idea. But she's an empiricist. Isn't this where she would go? Yeah, I think that this is sort of the lesson that she would take from it.
Most of the people around Hera don't. Townsfolk are too busy to notice what's right in front of their eyes.
Maybe I should go take a look at the mine. I'd get a better sense of what things were actually like.
Huh, nothing will stop you, I see. Well, I won't either. Just keep an eye out for any wolves or satyrs you might see down there, huh?
I'll let you know if I see any. Thanks for your help.
Good luck, Magdalene. Be safe.
Okay, can I ask him now? Oh, no, I can't. I was gonna say, like, how do I get into the mine? If I want to depict the mural as accurately as possible, I have to go down the shaft myself. The entrance is so steep, no one's used it in years. There must be some way to get down there. Climb down even though it looks dangerous. Baltus might have some tools. I bet he could help me rig a way to climb down there. Apollo and Artemis are always bragging about how they sneak around the ruins. Maybe I can ask them how to do it. So I'm going to go with this one for the specific reason that I'm a bargainer. And one of my history options was to have worked with Baltus, and that's the one that I didn't choose. So let's go see if we can get some information from Apollo and Artemis. It's not that Baltus isn't going to help. It's just less likely given that we're not in good with him already.
Oh, hey Magdalene, what's up?
Can you show me how you and Artemis get into the salt mine?
Mine? Why? It's all gross and creepy.
I need to get down there and see what the pagans and Romans left behind. I need references for my mural.
Oh, the mural? I would ask Artemis about that. She's pretty protective-y of the mine.
Can't you just show me? Artemis doesn't have to know.
Huh, she'll find out. She finds everything out. Sorry, Magdalene. If she says yes, I'll show you later.
See you later then, Apollo.
See you, Magdalene.
Oh, hey, Magdalene. Do you need something? I'm a little busy right now. I need you to show me how you and Apollo get in and out of the old salt mine.
The mine? Damn, Magda. Why do you need to get down there?
I want to see what our forefathers and the Romans left behind. It's for the mural.
The mural? You want to use our secret hideout for your mural?
I want to see if they left anything down there that I could use as a reference. You're really into that whole Rathaus project, aren't you? Project. Why should I show you how to get in? I'll help you with whatever you're planning next. Yeah, see, that's transactional. That's how Magdalene's gonna be. Father Thomas has been droning on and on about the plagues of Egypt, right? Apollo and I are collecting frogs to hide in the tabernacle. When Father Thomas opens it on Sunday, frogs will go everywhere. I already said this, but yeah. He'll never expect to summon frogs in his sermon in Egypt. We said this earlier. So what do you want me to do? We stole the tabernacle key, but we need to put it back before he notices. I think there was a Till Eulenspiegel story like this. Huh? He stole a silver box from a priest during confession, then confessed to the priest that he stole a silver box. Yeah? He told the priest that he wanted to give him a box that he stole. The priest said he couldn't accept stolen goods. So he stole a silver box and was absolved by the man he stole it from. Ha! So you're going to steal a silver box from Father Thomas. Yeah, no, you got the exact lesson. That's exactly right. No, wait, what do you want me to do exactly? I need you to replace the key on the altar in the church. Apollo and I would attract too much attention, but you're Tanese town goody-goody. Am not, I'm just a better sneak than you. I get away with it. That's bullshit and you know it. Anyway, will you do it? I'll get you into the mine if you do. Give me the key. Well, hold on, I can have a thought. I need a way to get into the mine, but this seems risky. This prank seems harmless. Unless the frogs have like swallowed firecrackers or something. Father Thomas will be missing his key too. Going along with this can't cause that much trouble, can it? Give me the key. Perfect. Good luck, Magdalene. Let me know when it's done. Okay. Hey, do you think that woman is still living in the church? The one that was like living in the walls? Oh, whoops. For no particular reason. No, I'm just gonna go put it on the altar. Look, he's outside. Wait, did she give it to me? Mary, Mother of Jesus, her painting has been here as long as I can remember. Okay, maybe I have to go find the key. Maybe for some reason in my head, I said, oh, I've already got it. Artemis and Apollo are up to something. Bunch of frogs. Learn that they're searching for frogs. I learned the twins stole the key to the church tabernacle in order to fill it with frogs. Artemis has asked me to return the key to the church before Father Thomas notices it missing. Yeah, okay. So... Alright, it looks like the church is empty. I can leave the key on the pulpit where Father Thomas is sure to find it. There, better get out of here before Father Thomas comes back. I'll let Artemis know I returned the key too. Hey, Father Thomas.
God bless you, Magdalene.
So, I mean, that was an incredibly easy heist. If Ocean's 11 had been that easy, it would have been just been Ocean's 1. Hey, I did it. Hey, Mags, how's your errand going? I did it. I left the key where Father Thomas would find it. Brilliant! Alright, as promised, Apollo and I will show you how to get into F the mine. Come on, follow me. Are you sure you want to do this, Magdalene? I hope we told somebody where we're gonna go, because I'm not sure that I trust these two. There's some creepy things down there. Who knows how many people have died in those mines? Right, it's probably haunted. You should back out now. While you still can. Boy, I feel like all three of these are kind of antagonistic, given the fact that I'm gonna be reliant on them to help me get back out. So you guys don't scare me. I'm going down there. Alright, but you can't blame us if a ghost gets you. You were warned. Anyway. It's not that bad, as long as you know where to put your feet. We do it all the time.
Come on, let's get on with it. I don't want to get in trouble again.
Fine, fine. Start with your feet on the inner ledge, Magdalene, and then loon for edges that look like shelves. Alright, here goes.
Don't forget to move your hands down before your feet so you don't slip.
Hike your skirt a little so you don't get it caught too. It's easier that way.
Wait, the missing rung!
Oh, right. There's a missing rung near the bottom.
Watch your step or you'll fall. Like this idiot. Why'd you have to say that? Why do you always have to embarrass me?
Alright, I got it. Thanks. Yoink. Hello to Salamander! Hold on, I don't know if there's going to be a quick time here. I kind of don't think so. Watch the missing rung. Salamander, I hope your Tuesday went okay. I did it! I'm at the bottom! Good job, Magdalene. Good luck doing whatever you're doing down there.
Hope you don't die, Magdalene.
Climbing out might be a bit trickier. Oh well, time to take a look around. Salamander says Tuesday went okay. Yeah, Tuesday was very busy. And as a result, I've mentioned this a couple times. Didn't have a chance to start streaming as early as I'd like, and we're probably getting near the end of the time that we have. There are a lot of different coins down here. How odd. It's not like this is a Saint's Well. Oh, a tablet. There's still writing on it. Oh, it's a poem. I think it's a love note. Poor Jay, I hope her lover was better at things other than poetry. I would have chucked this shit down a mine shaft too. So one thing that we've picked up about Magdalene through our various choices is that she's really not much of a romantic. She had that line about how marriage should be a business transaction. So yeah, if the poetry doesn't speak to her, she probably would have just dropped it like a paper flower. So oh, this looks like a larger version of some of Baltus's contraptions. Now that I'm down here, I should see what I can find from the Roman era and before. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Oh, bones. They're far too big to be human. No horns. Looks like a mule to me. Maybe it hauled that winch. Poor creature dying down here. That's what must have scared Apollo so much. Okay. A piece of pottery. It's beautiful. Oh, look at this. Can I put this in my bag? Oh, these must be the same kind of figurines Till and the other farmers find in the fields. To think there's so many remnants of our ancestors scattered in fields and caves like this. Did I say hello to Fox McCloud? Because if I didn't, Fox is saying that this place offends him, and he's calling OSHA. This pottery is scattered everywhere. Hopefully it's got some, like, paintings or, like, engravings on it. Yet another pottery piece. Hey, this piece looks like it matches the other piece I found. Another piece. I wonder if they're all the same pot. Why would somebody spread all the pieces to different rooms, though? Is this some sort of like a soul jar or something? Here's another piece. There's a Latin inscription here. Yeah, I didn't pick the polyglot, so I can't read what it says. Oh, this looks like a Roman map of Tassing. I wonder what's changed. Let's see if I can map everything out. There's the aqueduct and the spring. The abbey was an old fort up on the hill. And there's the rest of the town. Wait, what's this building? I don't recognize it. Mithraeum. I don't know that word. I can't quite tell if it's meant to label... what it's meant to label on the map. Maybe some sort of temple? Well, whatever it is, it's not in Tassing now. That's so odd. There was another way that I didn't go, though, right? Another inscription. It's not very formal. A worker must have carved it. There's that word again, Mithraeum. It must have been important to the Romans. Or the salt miners. This almost looks like an altar, but what would an altar be doing in a salt mine? It's even carved out of the salt. Okay, so I'm gonna put like a mental note. There is more down here, but I'm pretty sure there's another way to go that I didn't explore, and this seems fairly elaborate. I want to make sure that I see everything down here, since we're using some time units. Another shard. Oh, a cave-in. The wood here looks newer than the first part of the mine. Was this collapse recent? Okay, well, I'm glad that we came back and got that shard. Yeah, the safety standards were a lot different in the Roman Empire. If your ladders were actually required to miss 2 to 3 rungs, just to keep the workers on their toes. Okay, but oh, I guess I don't need to go back there. Another shard. I have a lot of these pottery pieces. I should find out if they're all from the same pot. Oh no. So apparently that's the part that I start with. This looks like it goes next to it, yeah? Oops. Well, this looks like it's probably going to go near the bottom. Because it's got legs. I'm going to put that in there for now. Where's the upper half of this person? I don't see it anywhere. Okay, so this plainly I don't think goes here, but... oh, it might go there. I mean, that sort of looks like it lines up with the circle. Maybe that's what I should look for, more circle pieces. Like this looks like it has a notch for a circle. Nope, hold on. That's clearly not right, though. Alright, let me set that aside. Whoops. Can I... oh, maybe that goes right here, though. Right here? Right here. No, that really doesn't look like it fits there at all. Can I not have this be in here right now? Or maybe this is just in the wrong spot. So, sorry, how do you... so it seems like once you pick up a piece, like, it just lives with you. You can't not have it in there. What I want to do is, like, rotate some of these so that they're at least face up. I don't know if that's right. This sort of looks like it would go here. Like, that kind of fits together. Here's the upper half of that woman's head. This looks like the other part of her braid. So, I mean, like, this just straight up doesn't look right. That looks better. Ish. I don't know where this little chip part is going to be. This is all wrong right here. But I don't know where it goes yet. that's correct. This is completely wrong. I don't know where this goes yet. I'd love to, like, put it somewhere, but let's move that down. Let's move this guy down. Nope. Nope. There. That's not right, but I just need it out of the way. Okay, now we can put this here, because I do feel like this is the right space for it. Okay. I want this part up here. Ish. Is this it? Yeah. Okay, that's not what I meant. We'll go like that. Fox McCloud is asking, if you drop it on another one, does it pick the other one up? That's a good question. I do think that I think it displaces it. Like, oh, yeah, it causes them to swap places, it looks like. I really don't feel like that goes there. Yeah, this whole section is wrong. Hold on. Grab this. This goes here, I think. Yeah. This one only makes sense here? Yeah. Okay. This is completely wrong, but I can't seem to be rid of it. That's also wrong. I don't understand how the rest of these pieces are supposed to go. This makes no sense there. How does everything, like, everything we've put down so far looks correct, and yet the pieces that I've left are like, no. Oh, the person's lying down. Okay, well, that makes more sense. It's supposed to go like this. I kept trying to put him right side up. I wasn't paying enough attention to the parts of the thing that were there. Okay, so this guy died. And then... that doesn't seem right. Okay. I got it. After a lot of confusion. Sam Linder has it figured out. Jody K explains to the screen how the rest go. Sam Linder does as well. See, everybody else figured it out. I couldn't figure out the person with the knife in his chest that he was supposed to be dead. The figures on this pot lid look like they're telling a story. These paintings must depict an early myth even before the Romans. Let's see. These must be Perkta, and those must be the forest spirits, part of the wild hunt? Oh god, the next part looks like a human sacrifice. Someone, maybe a chieftain, is sacrificing a man to Perkta. The bottom half of the lid continues the story. These look like spirits. They must be coming in to feast on the sacrifice. They must be showing how our ancestors tried to keep Tassing safe. They offered sacrifices to Perkta. I do like the fact that I could paint this into the mural. Yeah, no, this is what happens. It's what they believed. I'll have to think more before I can decide for certain. Alright, I better keep going before I run out of oil for my lamp. More Latin writing. I won't be able to go further with all the rubble. I suppose this is as far as I can go. Still, the murals on the wall showed me what Tassing was like when the Romans were here. I wonder if I can find out where the Mithraeum was, or what it was. And putting the pottery shard back together showed one of the earliest stories of Tassing. I think I've seen everything I can down here, and my oil is running out. Time to climb back out. Okay, I thought there was a better than average chance that she was just going to teleport out of the mine, but I guess we do walk it. Yeah, as Vox said, at least we didn't have to spend 5 minutes searching for more pieces. It was clear to me that the brown wooden parts represented the edges, but I kept trying to, like, put the man right side up, and none of that was fitting together, so it took me longer than it should have to realize, oh, he's sleepy. He's sleepy weepy. Ah! Wait, who's that? Hello? Is someone there? I better get out of this chaff before another rock comes crashing down. That is absolutely terrifying. Like, that really bothers me that somebody tried to drop a rock on my head. Who was that? Can you not stand next to the edge, Magdalene? Even Apollo and Artemis would have helped me out of here. Well, now that I have some more... Now that I have more information, I can make some decisions in the first section of the mural. I was watching a video, like reading a story about some guy who decided to express his displeasure for a neighbor by putting a bowling ball, like, wrapped up in some jeans or, like, an old shirt or something, and then tossing it out the window onto his head. And the wounds from something like that, the injury is catastrophic. Like down from, like, a second floor, third floor window. It's... Hey, Hauler.
You... I'm talking to you. Answer me.
You don't need to be so rude.
I'm Hauler Brand, the Elrod's gamekeeper. I give you courtesy when you merit courtesy. Why are you grazing pigs in the woods?
I'm not, that's not my pig. It's not my pig.
I've been walking around this forest for hours. Other than the charcoal burner and the tinker, you're the only other person I've seen. If the pig doesn't belong to you, what are you doing here?
Does everyone have to justify being in the woods?
If I think you're stealing the Lord's wood or illegally grazing your pigs, yes. All right, let me ask you a different question.
Whose quig is this? The pig was in the woods when I came here. I'm not the pig keeper.
Ah, a mysterious lost pig, who apparently belongs to no one.
I'm not gonna, this doesn't merit, like, I'm just gonna let you guys know, if he's gonna threaten to or then execute the pig, that's just more pork for me and my dad. Yeah, that's fine.
If I find any more pigs in these woods, I'll kill them on the spot. And those who brought them here. Do you understand? Fine. Remind your neighbors what happens when you break the Lord's laws.
I knew the Lord's men patrolled these woods, but I've never seen one before. I didn't realize they were so strict. Also, big ups to the bird back there that didn't flee at the sound of a gunshot. I feel like most birds might have found other places to be, but this bird didn't care at all. I suppose I should consider myself lucky. Yeah, the bullet didn't come towards me, and I get to eat pig. Anyway, time to get out of these woods and back to work at the office. I'm disappointed that I don't get to have the pig. if we're not allowed to hunt in the woods, maybe we're at least allowed to, like, take the pigs that other people shoot? Yeah, as Fox McCloud said, that bird didn't give a shit. Okay, I just didn't know that if they were going to say anything else. So, I'm sorry, it's later in the day, but am I going to paint now? Journal. Oh, the story about the satyr and stuff? Yeah, that's not too carnal. I saw an ancient map of Tassing. There was a building, Mithraeum. I'm not sure what it means, but I can't really figure out where it would be in our town today. I can't use that part in the mural. It's just odd. Okay, but the Legend of Perk, though, we could do. In her letter, Mother Illuminata mentioned 2 copies of A History of Tassing had both gone missing before the Abbey fire. She suggested that Martin Bauer sold one of the copies before he fled town. So, do I, like, am I required to go home, or can I go talk to Martin? Hello to Takarosh, who wants to know if anybody's up for some red rum. I will take a pass, but you might find takers elsewhere. Magdalene, how are you keeping? I'm eager to continue working on the mural. I have so much to do before Christmas. I'm certain it will be the pride of Tassing when you're through. You've always had your mother's talent for art. And how is your dad? You're one of the only people who's asked how I'm doing before asking about my dad. I know how it is to be the sole caregiver. Yourself? Yeah, yourself disappears behind the needs of the person you're looking after. I worry about you carrying that weight alone. I remember when my dad fell. We cared for him as best we could, but those few months before he passed were a tough timer for everyone. But I believe God will pull your dad through, whatever the doctor says. We need him. I feel like it's okay. It seems like they're pretty close, so I feel like Magdalene can express some concern about her dad. It's like, I think that Magdalene is probably a very capable person. We've set her up to be a good businesswoman. She knows how to cut a deal, but that doesn't mean that she's not going to miss her father. Should the worst come to pass, you will not be alone, Magdalene. Believe me. It may feel like you are, but... Have you thought about what you'll do if your dad doesn't come through this? I'd have to get married. You remember what happened to Otelia. And see, this is her empiricist talking. Fox Without is also saying hello to Takarosh. Yes, Takarosh, I hope you had a nice Tuesday. Like, this is practicality for her, and that's why I wasn't so quick to just be like, oh, just don't get married. I'd like to think in today's world, like, you're much more free to choose if you don't want to be married. You don't have to. But back in these times, I feel like if her dad dies, there might be very strict restrictions on her ability to own or operate a business, to own land. So, that poor woman. But you're a good girl, Magda. There are any number of families in Tassing who'd be happy to take you. You have someone in mind, don't you? I promise you I do not, because I don't care who we wind up with, but not Oates. Such a modest girl. Your dad raised you right. I mean Oates, of course. He's about as subtle as his father. God rest Otto's soul. I miss him. I wish I'd gotten to meet him properly. I mean, he made an impression, that's for certain. Oh, the girls around town knew better than to moon after him, though. That didn't stop some of us. He was Eva's from the start. As Oates appears to be yours. But if nothing ever comes of that, know that you're always welcome in my family, Magda. Kraft's a nice, hard-working boy. He's got a sharp mind. He can provide for a family. Kraft sucks too, though. Wasn't he, like, making fun of Magdalene? Are you trying to set me up with your son? Can you blame a mother for trying? You're a good, respectable girl, Magda. Any family would be lucky to have a daughter. Any family would be lucky to have as a daughter. Okay, a good, respectable girl, I guess. I don't mean to be rude, but I'd prefer decide in my own time. That feels like a rare typo. I'd prefer to decide in my own time. All right, I'll let it lie. You know, not every marriage may start off on solid footing. But if you pray and work and trust in the Lord, you can find it in time. Also, it helps if your husband goes away and then comes back as literally a different human being. Believe me. If it's not working out, how can you be sure a couple belongs together? God knows. He brings people together for a purpose. We don't need to understand it, only to have faith in providence. In any case, I should get back to the chores. Remember what I said. Whatever happens, you're always welcome in my home. I actually had a question about an old book. Martin is supposed to have stolen... I'm not sure that I would have phrased it exactly this way, but yes, in fact, Martin is supposed to have stolen it from that baron who was killed years ago. Do you know what happened to it? Oh... I hope this doesn't get me into any trouble, but I still have it, hidden in a drawer. Martin left it behind when he ran off. He went to all the trouble to take it, but he didn't bring it along? Martin was a thief, but he wasn't stupid. I'm sure he realized no one would believed he'd come... This is a weird section. This is like the second typo. It should be no one would believe he'd come by the book honestly, so he couldn't sell it. Why'd you keep it? What was I supposed to do? The Baron was killed soon after, and there I was holding his stolen book. I didn't want Martin to get into any more trouble than he was already in. I never read it, though. I don't read well. I could take it off your hands. No one would ever know you kept it. I trust you to be true to your word, Magda. I'd like to have nothing more to do with it, to be frank. It reminds me of difficult times. So this is like, when she was talking about Martin running off, that's when Martin ran off. Like, new Martin, Hobbs, Jobst, or whatever his name is. He's still, well, we don't know. I haven't seen him yet. A stolen book of dead noble Emin in our home. Perhaps it spoiled our milk and turned our eggs all these years. Here you are. Please, don't tell anyone I had this. Literally on my person right now. Ah, Historia Tassiae. It's in Latin, which I don't read well. I'll puzzle over it this evening. Thank you, Brigida. You've been a big help. Of course, Magda. Be well now. God bless. You too, Brigida. Until then, later. So, I feel like the doctor could probably read Latin. Martin had stolen when the Baron visited Tassing. She was nervous, but eventually let me keep the book. I should sit down and read it thoroughly soon. Perhaps I'll learn something for the mural. Hey, Oates. Hey, Mags. Got your way with the mural, huh? Yeah, exactly the way that I wanted to, Oates. You sack of shit. I didn't expect you to convince the council like that. You think that little of me? No, I'm impressed. The rest of the council has been arguing over the matter for so long, even I couldn't get a word in. Then you come in and shut them up in a few minutes. We could use more women like you in the town. Okay, I mean, Oates isn't completely bad. He doesn't express himself well, but when you ask him what the hell he meant... Yeah, there are plenty of opinionated women. Want to let us join the council? We'll show you some stuff. Well, you'd have to take that up with the Lord. Besides, I don't think any of them are as hard-headed as you. You're the exception, Magdalene. You always are. Clearly you've forgotten about Agnes. She doesn't suffer fools gladly. Agnes is... her. That's not what I meant. She's not... Oh, never mind. Forget about it. Anyway, standing up to the council like that was great.
I know I'm on the council, but sometimes it doesn't seem like I have any influence.
Oates actually seems insecure about his place on the council. He may be an ass sometimes, but I don't like to see him so upset. He's always poking fun at me too. Maybe I should remind him he's not that important overall. Although that might be cathartic in the short term, I feel like, I don't know, it doesn't seem very cool. I don't like to... It's not that I don't like to see him upset, it's that I don't like kicking somebody when they're down. I don't like, shoving my thumb in their eye. Maybe I should reassure him. Yeah, no, you do, though. You vouched for me to do the mural in the first place, which is true.
Only after your dad did. I still feel bad about that. I should have stuck up for you. Being the youngest one on the council has been harder than I thought. I know Baltus and Werner don't think I'm capable, and even Paul has warned me about being too rash. My dad died trying to make a difference in this town. All I'm trying to do is carry on his legacy, but it seems lying the others won't make room for any change.
I don't think anything is going to change. See, the thing is, we made the decision that Magdalene wanted to stay here and run the print shop, so it seemed pretty crummy if we were now like, yeah, this town sucks. Let's go with this. Keep pushing, Oates. They're stuck in the past, but we're looking towards the future of Tassing. I kind of want to say this. You sound like my dad. He always said the council was scared of doing anything important. The trouble is that that's insulting to Oates. Like, what do you mean by that, Magdalene? Yeah, let's try to cheer him up. He was saying nice things to us. Magdalene. Oh, he's not going to call us Mags right now. It'll take time, but maybe they'll listen to me eventually. Oh, well, better get back to it. See you later, Mags. Oh, just for a hot second, he didn't call her Mags. He couldn't keep it up, even to the end of the chat. Hello, Magdalene. Fabian. Good afternoon, Magdalene. Oh, little Andreas. Hello. Good day, Master Mueller. What are you up to today? Drawing. Anything interesting? No. Secrets. I'm good at keeping secrets. I'm drawing Sube? I have no idea what that's supposed to be. Oh, I see. I'll leave you to it then. So, Anna named her child after Andreas? Magdalene, dear. Good day, Magdalene. Hi. How is your father? He's doing better, I think. You have my prayers. You'll need them with Werner on the case. Anna, do not speak ill of the good doctor. He's doing his best. He's a bitter, washed-up drunkard. Everyone knows it. We all have eyes. Yet we ought to trust and believe in him. If it may inspire him to be better. Everyone needs the support of their community, Werner included. Just so. As long as he doesn't get anyone killed with his incompetence. No matter. I'm just glad to be sitting down for a moment. I'm tired. Andreas and Ulrich can wear down even the most vigorous person. So she named two kids. Andreas and Ulrich was one of the people that, one of the dudes that died on that night during the rebellion. By the way, Takarosh, Fox, Samlander, Jody K, does anybody know if Mia is live? We're a bit past 8, and I know that she was planning to be live with Netheryam tonight. Can anybody, not yet, says Jody K. If you could keep me apprised, I'd like to raid over when they do go live. Not even young Oates could keep up with those two. The blessing and the curse of small children. Haha. Mom! All right. Is she... Oh, Ulrich. Okay, that's the female of Ulrich. Oh, yes, she wanted to run off and hide so I can find her after I've caught my breath for a moment. I don't think she appreciates me taking this long. You're not playing along, Andreas? Hiding like your sister? No. This young man won't lose sight of his mom. Say, Magdalene, could you perhaps go find Ulrich in my stead? I'd be delighted. Wonderful. She's somewhere in town, although I'm not sure where by now. She ran up the street toward the bakery. I imagine you'll find her by the giggling. I'll be off then. Okay, I'll go to the bakery. God bless you, Magdalene. Hello, Matilda. Hello, Woslav. Oh, wait, brother Woslav and sister Matilda. They did get together. Check that out.
Very well. The Lord has blessed us more than we deserve.
And how are you, Magdalene? I was worried with you keeping the house and the workshop all on your own. Let me bring by some soup for you and, your father. Dad would love that. I've hardly had a moment to cook a hot meal. Between your father, the chop, and the mural, I'm surprised you're not dead on your feet. He's very lucky to have such a devoted daughter.
And before you worry about imposing, you're not. Taking care of our neighbors is how Tilda and I served Tassing.
Our vacation may have changed, but our gratitude to Ged and the town is not. Oh, they had to rewrite that in red. You've always been so dedicated to the town. Let's not talk about the Abbey. That's probably not happy memories for them. Unless it's, it's probably, maybe the burning is when they got together. Your neighbors took care of us in difficult times.
And sometimes those days feel like another lifetime. A harder time, to be sure.
I don't know anything about the Poor Clares. The Poor Clares were an order of contemplative nuns founded by Saints Clare and Francis of Assisi. As the name suggests, the Poor Clares are devoted to extreme poverty. They subsist purely on the donations of alms. Life feels pretty hard right about now.
I can't imagine you've had an easy time of it.
A nun's life can be a challenging one, but I never had to deal with the difficulties you do now, Magdalene. What about your old life was difficult for you? Was Matilda the one that got, had a very, very vicious encounter? There was one of the sisters that had a very, very bad encounter with the Baron from before the game started, and I think it was Matilda. I struggled with my vows, my discipline. I couldn't live as my sisters did. I broke my vows, as did Woslav. You fell in love?
We did. Well, I seduced her.
You certainly did not.
Are you telling young Magda here that you seduced me, then?
Woslav, please. So you left the Abbey? Though no one learned of what we did, the matter ate at my heart.
That and being falsely accused of murdering the old Baron terrified you, and rightly so.
We all must account for our sins, Magdalene. I was afraid I would account for mine sooner than I thought.
Those were the hardest years of my life.
I repented and prayed to God to absolve me.
But the Lord always provides, even in the darkest days.
The Abbey's destruction gave us a second chance. Well, they just said that the town, welcomed them in, so I don't know why we'd think this. Oh, Jody K is a big fan of St. Francis of Assisi. Assisi? I'm so sorry that I don't know so many of these words. That must have been incredibly difficult.
Many of the other brothers and sisters left for other callings, and it was simple enough to set up shop here.
I miss the sisters terribly some days, but truthfully, it's been a relief not to be constrained by my vows.
The Lord forgives more readily than man, Magdalene. I don't know what the first word is going to be. Never think that you must remain in a place that causes you to sin, even if others think it godly. Yeah, I'm glad you two are finally able to live life together. You both deserve it. Only by the grace of God are we in this life together. May it be many more years before we part. God willing. Anyway, Magdalene, I'll send that soup over to you shortly. Thank you, Matilda. God bless you, Magda. Maybe I should have said God bless. Please tell me that Endris found love. Hello to Lucha Freddy. Oh, and Jody K is saying Saint Francis of Assisi is the patron saint of animals. Lucha Freddy, I hope you've had a good week so far. And possibly a good April. I feel like we haven't had a chance to catch up lately. I hope you're doing well. Oh, hello, Magdalene. That's too close to the video. Hello, Magdalene. How's Klaus? Klaus. Rezi and I are very worried. Yeah! Who's Rezi? I'm gonna say alive. Did you discover who attacked him? No. Whoever it was, they left no sign. Terrible, Krimu. Terrible. May God look after you both. We've had enough tragedy in this town. Has Gertrude been by to see him? I'd trust her over that doctor. Maybe I should go talk to her. He's not reliable. I don't know what to do, Endris. Oh, Magdalene, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't gossip. If there's anything Rezi and I can do for you, let us know. I will. Thank you for your kindness, Endris. It's nothing. I owe your father more than I can say. Take care, Magdalene. Wait, I want to meet his wife. Is this her? Hello, Mr. Struckerin. How is Klaus? And Hiss and I have been terribly worried. His spirits are high, but he still gets headaches and spells of dizziness. CC. Oh, a CC. Okay. Jody K is giving it phonetically. A CC. That is easy to understand. A very creative work so far, thanks. I'm once more experimenting. That's awesome, Lucha Freddy. I will say again, anybody that hasn't... The great thing about Lucha Freddy is that if you watch one of his streams today, when you check in like a week, you'll see something brand new and different. He knows so much about setting up Twitch stream because he's tried so many different things. If there's anything we can help you with, let us know. Endris is always ready to provide. He and Klaus have been friends for a long time. If you don't mind, you weren't born in Tassing, am I right? Well, no, let's just say thank you. It's the least we can do. My sweetie rather admires Klaus. If you don't mind, you weren't born in Tassing, am I right? No, I'm originally from Innsbruck. How did you arrive here? The twists of Providence are sudden and unpredictable. I was but a young girl selling all manner of wares on the market, pots and the like. One day, this man appears in the stall, all jitters and nerves, stammering over his words, but charming in a way. We spoke at length. I was intrigued and soon enamored, as if a candle had been lit. Andres is a man of talent, and weens? I'm sure that's means. After all, blessed with a kind soul. Do you have any regrets coming here? Because again, Magdalene in our headcanon is planning to stay here. No. It hasn't always been easy, of course, but if something feels so right in your heart, then you have to follow. And it felt so very right for you? Frightening, too, to be sure, having to leave my home, my friends and family behind. But it was exciting as well, going off to find new opportunities and build a new life. There wasn't much I had to look forward to in Innsbruck, few prospects for a poor girl. I couldn't see myself sitting at the market, continuing to sell odds and ends. Sometimes there are risks we just have to take. That's very inspiring, Resi. I'm glad you found happiness here. We're all struggling in this world, but the moments of joy outweigh the bad. It's how God has set the world, benevolence guiding us, His benevolence guiding us through it all.
Foxcloud is noting that Mia's chat is no longer in emote-only mode, so soon, I would guess. Awesome. Thank you for the update. Yeah, just let me know, and we'll probably find our next save point. I feel I've been blessed, and it's not been all bad for Endris either. I assist him with the bookkeeping side of those smithy and the other things. You must be very good with numbers, then. The smithy provides a crucial trade. The market's taught me well. I'm a fair bit more comfortable with numbers than Endris, to say the least. I can't tell you any true answers, but I hope I've provided some encouragement. Don't forget you are important as Wall, and deserve to live your life. Alright, I have to assist Endris with a few things. Be well, Magdalene. Until later, Therese. Oh, that's what Resi is short for? Therese? Okay, I see her, actually. She's to the left behind the pot. I can smell the anise on the breeze. It reminds me of when I was little. Dad always brought anise tea cakes from Gret to soothe my stomach when I was ill. Ulrich! There you are. You found me! Bet you can't find me again, Mag! I'm just gonna walk directly behind you. Okay, is she gonna fall down a well? Hey, Magdalene. I'm listening for the giggle. And I'm going to assume that she's hiding outside. Look at... Oh, that's the Wrath House. No, I don't want to go there yet. I want to find the little girl. Oh, there she is. Got you. Aw, you found me again. Wait here. I will find better spot. Well, maybe I should check around here a little bit. That's the Stoltz house. Hey. Ciao, Magdalene.
Magdalene!
Yes?
The cinnamon just arrived for the beer!
Cinnamon, doesn't that come from Ceylon? Oh, yes, at great cost.
Oh, never mind that. It's for the Christmas celebration.
Already? We're barely into November. Oh, Magdalene, let me tell you something about the modern day.
The wheel of time stops for no man, but it's going to be wonderful. Cinnamon coffee from Ethiopia, cacao from the New World.
And then whatever that man just said. Jesus Christ, he who has the money can do everything.
Problem?
Of course not, it's your money.
Anyway, I'm quite excited about it.
Clearly.
As such, alchemy is not normally my strong suit. For all of Naziu's complaints about the cost, the base rye we're using is free.
Given the other ingredients, I'd imagine it doesn't make much of a difference to the cost. Yes, at least someone around here is aware of the cost. I would love to do like an Ezio Auditore, but it's been way too many years since I've played Assassin's Creed 2.
Do I or do I not have more than enough money to cover everything 10 times over?
Of course, but...
Then I don't want to hear another word about it. The farmers had so much rye this year, they couldn't use it all.
Gret made as much bread with it as she oakled, but she wound up having to throw a lot out.
So why not make beer?
Yes, why not?
Thank you. And that's the end of the conversation. Thank you for coming to my beer talk.
What a mess. I don't know how Baltus can get anything done with all of this in the way. So I assume that there's like a very different version of that. Yeah, Lucha Freddy would like some Cinnabon. We were actually just talking about that yesterday, I think. I don't think that there's any Cinnabons anywhere near where we live. I haven't seen one. Okay, that is... So I'm still looking for Ulrich, and I don't want to not find her, because then, like, that sucks when you're playing hide and seek and the other person just, like, gets bored. I'm also going to assume that she's got, like, a certain range, you know, that she's not just gonna go up to the Abbey or something like that. Oh, that's right, this kid's piece of shit father died. Boy, I'm glad that I don't have to get hit on by that dude.
Good day, Magdalene. How's the mural coming along?
Well, I think. I'm off to start the first part of the mural today. I'll paint the founding of Tassing and the Romans.
Well, you won't want for any models. Tassing is littered with Roman ruins. It's almost a nuisance. What sort of mural are you creating, Magdalene? I believe Klaus is planning on a fresco.
Dude, hell if I know. Lucifer is saying there's a Cinnabon dangerously close to him. I have always thought, like, sometimes I'll see these houses that are, like, literally across the street from, like, from a coffee shop or a Taco Bell or something like that, and I'll see those and be like, if I lived there, how on earth, how would I ever summon the strength to prepare breakfast if I could just walk across the street and pay a couple dollars and get it right on the spot? I'm very glad that we don't live super close to something like that. So, I'll start with the intonatio, then paint the fresco over it so that I have a clear consistency. That sounds like a plan to me. I don't know what most of those words mean. No, I'm going to say that first one, because it sounds like she knows what she's talking about, even if I don't.
Oh, I see. You have enough plaster? The Rathus wall is so large, I was worried it wouldn't stay wet for long.
Since when did the town miller know so much about art?
It's been an interest of mine since childhood, but my father disapproved. After my mother and I left Tassing, we stayed with her family for a few months before we heard what happened. Your father's friend, Andreas, he encouraged me to draw. While we were away, I studied in my uncle's library. I've collected books about various art styles since we returned.
I can't imagine what I would have done if Dad didn't let me learn how to paint and print.
Oh, it didn't stop me. I just became better and better at hiding my art. That's why Anna and I have decided that whatever Andreas and Ulrich show an interest in, we'll support.
Oh, so wait, because I'm still putting together the relationships. So he's married? Because I was actually in this conversation thinking, well, I mean, he seems like a pretty good match for Magdalene, but no. Anna is... Yeah, okay, we met Anna. Okay. And now I know why the children would be named after Andreas and Ulrich, both of whom died that night, because Paul would have liked them a hell of a lot better than his own dad. And forgive me if Anna was also there, because I haven't learned everybody's name.
It may not be something that they can make a life from, but I'd rather nurture that interest. Oh, well, anyway, I'm glad the mural is going well. Forgive my sudden questioning about it. I've been so busy preparing for the council's next meeting, I haven't had as much time with Anna as usual. She says I get a bit frantic when I'm overwhelmed.
Is the council working on something new?
We're considering yearly maintenance checks on every house in Tassing. The idea's had quite a bit more pushback than we'd anticipated.
I can't imagine why. I certainly love it if my neighbors nose their way into my house every year. Oh, interesting. Super sarcastic. I can understand the utility of the proposition, but it might feel like a nuisance. I feel like that's more even-handed. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go with this.
Precisely. That's the issue we've run into. This would help protect those in Tassing who don't have the skill to fix things themselves. Widows like Agnes or Gret. But without instituting it for the whole town, we can't enforce the proposition. In any case, the matter is far from resolved. I imagine spring will come before anything is actually done. I'd better get back to work. Thank you for letting me interrupt your day, Magdalene. God bless you.
I've always liked Paul. Paul grew up to be a solid dude. Oh, No Oats is saying, just wanted to say thanks for getting me into this game. It was fun. So, like, this game here, No Oats? Why am I blanking on the name of the game that I'm there's some days, guys, where just words don't come to me. Pentiment. I'm very glad that you liked it. Yeah, as you can see, I'm not done yet, but working my way. Lucha Freddy is saying, there's one at the nearest subway station to me, a Cinnabon, which is only a 10-minute walk away, the joyous curse of city living. And Sam Lander saying, quote, if I lived there, I'd be 400 pounds. Yeah, I don't think it would be very healthy for me to live very close to a fast food place. I've said it. Oh, there she is. I have said it before. One of the highest compliments that I think that I can receive as a streamer is somebody saying, I saw you playing a game and I thought it looked cool, so I decided to check it out myself and had a good time. That is awesome. I really appreciate that, Notes. Also because, like, this is, I know this was, like, published by Microsoft, but this was a really small, like, borderline indie project that came from within Obsidian. It was a very small team. So, like, the more... Like I don't want to say publicity necessary, but like the more exposure that I can offer for this, that people might be like, oh, I hadn't heard of this, or I didn't know what it was like, and it seems cool. That's really awesome. Okay, you can't hide from me, Little Bean. You're too good, Mag. Oh my, hold on, you guys. I'm so sorry, I almost got very loud. She's wearing Andreas's hat. I didn't realize that until just now. It's all patched up. That is so cool. I really love that. You guys, the idea that I did not take back my hat when little Anna took it off her head, because now I know who Anna was. The fact that Andreas didn't take the hat back has paid so many dividends that Anna then went on to continue wearing the hat, and now she gave it to her daughter. That's awesome. I love that so much. I will go find Mom now. Ulrich isn't much of a hurrier, I notice. It just sort of, like, marches along. So, I found the little girl. What the hell was I doing? I was gonna go... I know that I was gonna go paint, but was there anything that I wanted to do before I started painting? Apparently, I've got a couple things that I can do. What is kind of to the south of here?
God bless you, Magdalene.
God bless you, Till. Do you have a moment?
Of course. What do you need? Oates says you've been obsessed with your painting.
I'm just looking into the early history of Tassing for the first part of the mural. Mother Illuminata said your grandfather read about the history of the town.
Fertile land, that is. Fertile fields. Seems like old potsherds and Latin trivia were all he ever talked about. All of Granddad's reading came from the Abbey's library, though. And you know what happened there. Poof, up in smoke.
So you don't have any of his old books?
Only a few. Granddad tried to buy some when the Abbey fell in hard times, but they were too expensive. But I can show you something better than books.
Evidence?
Something like that. See, we don't have any books on the old pagans, but we do have their stuff. Shards of ceramic pots and animals, bricks from what looks to be an old forge, mountains of salt. Even found a little bear carved from amber.
Where did you find all this stuff?
It's not just me. Carl finds things, Fabian too. Any farmer would tell you the same. It's all out there in the fields, under the dirt. Can't go one season without turning up something.
Where are you keeping these things?
Nowhere. We just toss them into piles with the rest of the rocks and root clumps. Sure, it's interesting, but we can't do much of anything with the stuff except look at it.
What do you think it all means?
I don't follow.
What do you think they were like?
Huh, I guess I never really thought about it. They seem like regular people. Their, remains all look like ours. Tools and weapons are rougher, but not badly made.
Mia is live. Thank you very much, Jody K.
The little carvings, the ceramic critters aren't so different from the things Eva used to make for oats.
Huh, I suppose I expected them to be more strange.
Because they weren't Christians? No doubt they were coarse, but they don't seem especially violent, not like the church says. Not so different from today, really.
Earlier you mentioned something about salt. Did the pagans start the mine?
Had to have, I'd say. Most people think it was a Roman project, but I think the Romans just dug out what was already there. That's why Tassing was so important to the Romans in the first place. Salt. So Tassing wasn't just on the Imperial Road. They made the road come through Tassing. This has been a big help. Glad to spread some knowledge around. Important for folks to know their past. You think all this pagan stuff will make it into the mural? I can bring some of the things the boys and I found over to the Rathouse tomorrow, if that'd help at all.
That'd be great.
I'm glad you're taking an interest, Magdalene. I thought no one cared about the pagans but me and Granddad. Until tomorrow.
Until then. Wow, I'm really glad I came in here. I should get back to the Rathouse. Wait, does that mean that I can't? Oh, no, that was just her saying that. Hello, Eva. Magda, darling, Otis isn't here, I'm afraid. I wasn't looking for him. No? Are you sure? I think he wandered off into town towards the Rathouse. Something about the council, but if you ask me, I think he's looking for you. He has been dropping by the Rathouse more often as late. He's quite fond of you. I'm surprised he had any time to visit, though. He's always working on town council business these days, and he's still working at mastering crapentry, too. Is he now? I suggested a few years ago that he take up an apprenticeship, but he was determined to remain in Tassing. I think he's more comfortable here, even if that means he'll never be the craftsman Otto was. I help him how I can, but there's only so much I know how to do. Besides, I think he feels like he's taking care of me instead of the other way around. Funny how Taimo does that. But I've already said that I don't want to leave Tassing. I think Dad misses Mom. This seems a little forward, but do you ever miss Otto? I'm sure the answer is every day. Every day! Look at that. I see him in all the little things Oates does. The way he smiles or how he laughs. I miss my husband, but I'm proud of Oates. He's growing into a capable young man. I'm excited to see him grow into a husband and father. He'll make a wonderful partner. So this is how I feel and how I think that she feels about him, but like, that's his mom, dude. Like, I don't think that we want to say that. Fox says that she started. Yeah, we're gonna grab our next save point. We'll know it when the little like writing comes down at the bottom right-hand corner. It's about time to start finding a match too. It's wonderful that God blessed Endrix with a wife at last, but I'd rather not have Oates be in his position. Better to marry earlier while he can raise a family. Anyway, I'm sure you have things to do. I'll let you get back to them. Always good to see you, Magda. You too, Eva. Okay, probably on a scene transition, we'll have a little thing come up. Not yet. Oh, that might have been it. Main menu? 3 seconds ago. Okay, so we are going to call it there. And yeah, this was a little bit of a shorter episode, but that's because I got started later. And actually, it wasn't really 2.5 hours. We're going to go join twitch.tv/morethanamia and NetherYam for their continuing adventures in It Takes Two. We will be continuing this episode. If I was to guess, 2 episodes left. That's a very rough guess. It depends on, I guess, on how long the next one is. And I do think that our next episode of Midnight Suns is likely to wrap up the main story. So I think that we're going to be bringing both of these playthroughs to a close in fairly rapid succession with one another. Let's go say hello to Mia and NetherYam. And until next time, you guys, thank you so much. And I hope you have a great night.